Hi, and welcome to Community Action Now. I am your host, Brynn Shimel with NCAP, and today is August 3rd, 2022. Summer is rapidly coming to a close, and today we have a few guests on to talk about some things going on in the community, as we always do. And I'm going to let them introduce themselves today. We're just going to get started. These are my friends from the Surfy County Chamber of Commerce. And why don't you guys just introduce yourselves and tell us what you do and maybe how long you've been doing it?
Well, thank you. I am Karen Gibler. I am the president and CAO of the Surfy Chamber. And I have been with the Chamber for 10 years now. And that role has developed into it's ever-changing, constantly pivoting with the growth of the Chamber in the community.
Absolutely.
So I kind of oversee all of the programming and the staff, and my responsibility is all the financial aspects of the Chamber.
Good morning, I'm Tara Simons. Thank you for having us here today.
Absolutely.
I am a membership manager with the Surfy Chamber. I've been employed with them for over a year now, but I was an ambassador with them for 8 years.
Great. Well, let's talk about first just about the Chamber in general, the Surfy Chamber, how long it's been around, what you guys do.
Well, it's interesting. The history of the Surfy Chamber has a unique story because there was a lot of city chambers, and they kind of came together and said, hey, we would have a bigger voice in legislature if we became one chamber. And so everybody came together, and at that time, not everybody showed up, but we still became the Surfy Chamber.
Right.
And a couple of those other chambers have, gone away. We still have a couple individual city chambers, and our focus is really on advocacy for businesses and education and giving businesses opportunities. So that really kind of comes to a wide spectrum of possibilities. We do over 200 events a year. We oversee 600 groups and meetings, and we have over 190 volunteers. So there's a really broad spectrum of things that we do at the Chamber.
Yeah. And as far as, membership goes, so do you have to be a business to join the Chamber?
Tara, would you like to answer that?
No, you don't have to be a business. You just have to want to maybe better educate yourself personally, professionally. We provide opportunities to do that, network with other community business leaders.
What then is the role of the ambassadors group with the Surfy Chamber?
Sure, yeah. So I love our ambassador program because, like I said, I was an ambassador for 8+ years, and it really helped me be successful in my previous role. It's an opportunity to really be the face and represent the Chamber at some of our events. We give them opportunities to sort of introduce themselves through the Chamber instead of maybe through their business. People love supporting the Chamber and Chamber members, and so when you say you're with the Surfy County Chamber, doors just seem to open.
Yeah. If a business is interested in being a member, how would they go about becoming a member? Are there annual fees, things like that?
Yes, absolutely. So first off, there's another membership manager that works with me as well. We kind of meet with them, we learn about them. We're not there to just sell them a membership. We're there to really support them and help them along the way. Everybody has different needs. So we kind of have that conversation with them, learn about their business, what their needs are, and then we help them be able to maximize their Chamber membership with us. Like Karen was saying, we have 200 events a year. Not everybody can go to all those events. So we kind of help them maximize their time, be smart with their time, get in front of the right people. We have, programs for women or sales group or leadership Surfy.
Yep, or the nonprofit groups.
Yeah,
Government
absolutely.
affairs group.
Okay.
And the pricing does vary based on the size of the business. We understand some of the financial constraints of a small nonprofit or a small business, and so those are tiered based on the size of the organization.
Okay. And you kind of touched on it. As far as benefits to being a member of the Chamber, you said already there are, all of these opportunities to network and kind of getting in front of the right people, but what would you say are some other major benefits of being a member of the Chamber?
There are some phenomenal statistics on just consumer awareness and being part of a chamber. They also increases your credibility being a part of a chamber. And
Okay.
if you have the same exact product as another person within your community, the percentage of them thinking that your product's better just being part of a chamber of commerce. So we have several businesses that are very involved in the chamber, and we have some that are like, we want to associate with you, you're a great organization. If we need something, we know you're there.
Yeah.
But our consumers also like to know that we're part of the community and that you have a voice for us.
Very cool. Anything to add to that, or do you think?
Sure. I mean, just having access to our members, like I said, Sarpy County as a whole is like one great big family, and people love supporting other people in Sarpy County, and relationships are important. So we provide platforms for people to be able to do that and develop their own relationships and kind of grow their networks. And then, of course, we have online directory. It helps them by being affiliated with our website, with their overall Google search, and making sure they're appearing on that first page of a Google search and so forth. So, yeah, opportunities are endless.
Well, and part of something that a lot of people aren't aware of is sometimes there are people that are looking to open a business.
Sure.
And so we get a lot of those phone calls like, hey, I want to open a business. I'm looking for, a space that's already got a kitchen, or I don't know how to write a business plan. And we have a plethora of opportunities for maybe guiding them to where they are in their the process. Some of them are a little bit farther along than other people. And then we can hand them off to people that are experts in that area. So if you want to, become an LLC, how do I file to get my LLC or S Corp? And so we have all those resources available. And so even if you're not a business yet, we're available to help you in that journey.
Very cool. You also talked about doing 200 some events every year. What kinds of events is the chamber putting on every year?
So our chamber, like most chambers, does the coffee and contacts in the business after hours. Ours are free to our members. They can, come in and network. But we also do educational series.
Okay.
We do some fundraisers. We have a fun golf tournament. We have our annual awards banquet where we honor new and emerging business, nonprofits, all kinds of different categories. We have our big grand giveaway event, which is a fun themed event. We have women's monthly events. We have used to be called young professionals, but we call them our modern professionals now. They do a monthly event. We also do a State of the County and an Economic Outlook, which really focuses on either financial aspects, roads, or maybe a development in the communities that's really going to impact our community. So it's kind of like the hot news now for the community.
Very cool.
So that's kind of a sample of some of the stuff we do.
And then tell me a little bit about Leadership Surfy. We had our friends from the Bellevue Chamber on a few months ago, and we've talked about the fact that I'm going through Leadership Bellevue right now. So Leadership Surfy, you said it's a little bit different. Just tell us about that program and how someone could apply to be part of that.
Well, I'm going to hand that to Tara because she just graduated in May from Leadership Surfy. So
yes, and I am a graduate of Leadership Bellevue as well.
Very cool.
Yes, Leadership Surfy was awesome. I mean, the relationships that you gain from that, you have for a lifetime. I love that they still get together after the program is over with. But during the program, I mean, you're sharpening your leadership skills. They're challenging you to think outside the box. They're informing you about what's going on in the community, whether it's like the local hospitals, the local nonprofits. So you really are learning more about what's going on in the community, not just the business world, but and just how to be a better community member.
We're trying to enhance people's confidence in leadership. We will see people that come in that may be a little bit more shy, and they build their confidence in being able to do presentations, to apply for a promotion. We also look at strategic planning for your private life as well as your professional life.
Okay.
Becoming aware of opportunities that your organization can give back to a community also. It's a pretty vast program. We do a legacy project every year. That class will break into groups, and they'll do anywhere from 5 to 6 special projects that impact the community, and those are really fun projects. Tara actually was on one that the Veterans Living Center at Midlands Hospital is doing a community garden, and their project was a beautiful butterfly sculpture for in their healing garden.
Cool.
And we already secured financial support for that, so I just want to throw that out there.
Awesome.
Our group rules.
Love it. Yeah. Well, we are almost out of time. Thank you guys again so much for being here, and we will put all of the information on the screen with the website and how to get a hold of you and the chamber if you're interested in joining or having some questions. But before we go to break, let's just really quick, I just want to know what your favorite part so far of your role at the chamber is.
Oh, I love the people and the energy that we're around every day. If you have to sit behind a desk, it's so great just to come out and see people and the energy, and we're impacting lives every day, and that is our give back. And they say if you love what you do, you don't work at a job, and we are definitely living the dream working at the chamber for me.
Definitely. It would be people for me. For one, I love my staff that I work with. I enjoy coming into work every day. I enjoy working for Karen. I enjoy working for my team. But I get to help people every day, and that is awesome. That everyone, like I said, has a different need. And if I can't, help them, but I know someone who can and who will.
Who can, absolutely.
And so that is awesome. So it's definitely the people.
Great. Well, hey, thank you guys so much for being here, and thank you for everything that you do, in the community. And we love being a part and getting to spend time with you guys as well.
Yes. Thank you for being part of the chamber
Absolutely.
as well. Yes.
And the nonprofit group.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Where can you watch KPAO Community Television? The channel with all of the local shows. If you live in the Omaha area, Cox Channel 22 HD is your place. If you prefer streaming, go to kpaoTVOmaha.org. And now, if you have the Apple TV box, grab our app and watch us there. KPAO on cable, streaming live, and now on Apple TV.
Welcome back to the August episode of Community Action Now. Thanks for tuning in on the second half of our show today. I am really excited to talk with these ladies. We have Sharon, the founder of a new nonprofit currently being built called Asha's House. And Miriam is here as well with her. I'm going to let them again introduce themselves. Sharon, would you just tell us a little bit about you and your kind of professional background before we start talking about Asha's House?
Well, pretty much. Mine has always been as a caregiver, to be quite honest with you. That has always been my role. There was a time that I was able to fulfill one of my dreams and goals, and that was the love of cooking, and I opened a catering business, and that was very successful. I had that for 2 years until unfortunate circumstances. I had to stop, and then it was just taking care of my daughter.
Yeah.
Just taking care of my daughter.
And Miriam's role at Asha's House?
My role is as operations manager.
Okay.
So right now, as we're building the business, just kind of holding down everything. I don't want to give myself one title to confuse, but operations, to see that the things are coming together like a good puzzle.
Perfect. So let's talk about then Asha's House. First, what is it?
Asha's House is one of a kind. It is an overnight respite and retreat, and I think what separates us is the overnight, out of home overnight. It has 7 themed bedrooms. parents, caregivers, guardians, they can bring their loved one for up to 7 days, overnight or a weekend, or up to 7 days, to take much needed, respite, break, time to refresh, self-care. And so the respite part comes in for them, and the retreat part comes in for their loved one. And keeping that in mind, we developed a lot of different activities and amenities that I think will bring them all together. And what was more important was to have something that everyone could enjoy. Yes. Regardless of their disability, everyone will be able to take part in something that we have. Like, for instance, we have a theater, which will also act as our storm shelter. We have a serenity room. And for quiet space, we have a game room, activity room, classroom. And we have an enclosed sunroom, which will house a lot of plants. And a lot of these plants are from Asha's memorial. And then outdoors, we have basketball court. We have raised garden beds. We have butterfly garden, Zen garden, fruit trees. Mm-hmm. And as far as like activities, how it's going to be based primarily is we're going to send out, email out a questionnaire. And when that comes back to us, we will determine if that person is someone we're capable of accommodating.
Sure.
And if it is, then we will bring them in for like a meet and greet, show them around, and yes. And if that's something that they want, they will even probably pick out the room that they would want to stay in.
Yeah.
Because like I said, it is 7 themed bedrooms. Mm-hmm. Right now, we have 4 of the 7 themed bedrooms taken. Example, one sponsor was sports, because her kids play sports. Another sponsor was music. They interacted with Asha a lot with music, so that's why they chose the music room. Yeah. The other sponsor, she's beach. She loves the beach and palm trees.
Sure.
So that was hers. And then my latest sponsor is she wanted under the sea creatures. So
very cool.
Yes, yes.
Well, I know that we're going to talk more about the actual building and as you're making that happen, but Asha's house is obviously very personal to you.
Yes, it is.
So tell us how Asha's house came to be.
Asha's house came to be really out of frustration, to be honest.
Sure.
What Asha's house represents is what I had been looking for her for years, off and on for years.
For your own daughter.
Even out of state.
Sure.
And I could not find it.
And this was because you were taking care of your daughter.
Yes.
Who had medical issues.
Right. And there was, she had a lot of medical issues. She had 4 major brain surgeries throughout her life, the last one leaving her in a wheelchair. But she was tough, though. She was tough. She never gave up. She never gave up on the fact that she, I'm gonna walk again, I'm gonna walk again. So she was always 100% into her therapies. And there are times that wheelchair was in and out of the trunk of the car 8 times, taking her to different appointments.
Yeah.
And it's, it's so hard to try to explain to the average person exactly how much work, physical and mentally, goes into caring for a loved one.
Absolutely.
And it is extremely important that they get that self-care.
Yes.
And so that is how Asha's house came about. When Asha passed, the Lord put it on my heart after a time of grieving. It's like, like I said, out of frustration and anger, it's like I couldn't find it for her when she was alive. So
Right.
I'm going to build it. I'm going to build it. And so everything that is Asha's house represents what I was looking for in a place.
Yeah, I love this project so much, and I love this story, and I think it's so amazing. So you guys have broken ground
Yes.
and will be building over the next year to 18 months, hopefully.
Yes, it should take a year to 18 months, given the current situation
Yes.
with, it may take 18 months.
Sure.
Some materials, it depends on, material availability and whatnot. So
And then you will be able to have 7
7,
guests at a time.
yes,
With
7 guests.
Caregivers.
Oh, yeah.
And activities then.
Yes, yes. And
Very cool.
the activities will be based individually. So there is no one size fit all.
Right.
And that's what their attendant, that's what I refer to them as, their attendant. When we'll know exactly their likes and dislikes. So they're going to come in with a relationship with them, and that's the area in which they're going to focus on.
Amazing.
So everyone will have their own personal attendant to care for their needs,
Yeah,
whatever
which
that
is,
may be.
I mean, you're right. There are not many services that offer, any kind of extended, really respite care. And I'm sure that is so important to families, to the caregivers, to feel like they can even take that time for themselves.
Yes.
And to know that their loved one is somewhere safe,
Mm-hmm.
and being taken care of and enjoying their time.
And safety was a big issue for me, because you have verbal and nonverbal,
Right.
and it puts them in a very
Vulnerable.
position.
Absolutely.
So the safety part was very important. That's why it's as far as hiring, it would be an extensive background check, and I know from my own experience, I know what type of people I'm looking for.
Absolutely.
I know it. So I don't, and we're hoping to be able to offer better wages, because for the most part, caregivers are revolving door, per se.
Sure.
And I want, I want attendants that are reliable,
Yeah.
and they have to have a heart, because this is not an easy job.
Yeah, it's a hard job.
You have to have a heart for it. Like with their attendant, she gets off and then another person come. So you're tag teaming.
Right.
But if you're one person, you don't have anyone to tag team off of.
Right.
So
Well, as we've been chatting, we've had pictures on the screen of renderings of the building and the amenities and what it's going to look like, and it looks amazing, and I'm so excited to watch it kind of unfold
Yes.
over this time. If anyone is interested in working with you guys or sponsoring or even eventually receiving services, how would they get in touch with you?
Well, we do have access through Facebook, and that address would be ashashouse.org. You have the opportunity to both donate and also to sign up to be a volunteer. Sharon's excellent in contacting people back if they want to talk to her personally. This is very personal to her.
Well, thank you, ladies, so much for being here. Like I said, I am really excited to watch this project kind of grow, and thank you for sharing, your story and sharing your daughter with us through all of this. Yes. And I think it's going to be a very important resource to have, and I hope that it will be very successful. We'll have to have you on another time, maybe when it's open, to talk more about how it's going. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you to everyone for tuning in. A lot of really good stuff today. As always, all of our information will be up on the screen. Reach out to us via social media or any way that you can if you have questions or if you want to chat with us. And make sure that you tune in next month. We will see you next time.